Hi, people. Let's get out of IHOP. So, the Cinemark I went to, I wonder if I turn my camera, you guys would be able to see it. All the way over there. I hope y'all see it. If y'all didn't see the fucking Cinemark, you'll see it behind me when I fucking drive past it. So I did go see Madam Web, as the fucking title would suggest. I don't know what I'm going to name it yet. Madam Web spoiler rant, probably. I wouldn't even call it a rant. It's not like I didn't know this movie was going to be fucking complete dog shit. The first time I saw the trailer, I went, that looks like it will be the worst film of the year. And I was like, but maybe potentially it can surprise. Maybe it's just a horribly edited headache of a fucking trailer. I even remember my friend who watched like a minute of it, who like usually me and him have lined up opinions. I remember when he first saw the trailer, he was like, he goes, it looks bad, but I'm sure it's just the trailer. Like, I was like, really? That doesn't look like the worst fucking piece of shit you've ever seen in your life? And he was like, no, it doesn't. I was like, it looked bad, but well, contrary to that belief, I can confirm that that this is probably the fucking worst film that I've seen in a theater in the past 5 years. Maybe it might potentially be the worst movie I've seen in a theater. I'm not even joking, because I've seen dog shit in a theater. I've seen horrible films. I've seen The Grudge 2020 in a theater. I've seen Fantasy Island in a theater. I saw fucking The Hustle and Cats in theaters. I've seen horrible films where I can at least tell that with every single one of those films that I just named, that they tried to make a fun, entertaining movie. The cast was having fun, that the writers actually were trying something. Even with Cats, it's like, it's fucking weird and trippy to watch, and it's technically or I guess cat shit, because it's cats. But Madam Web is like the most lazy, derivative, disrespectful fucking piece of shit that I've ever seen on a big screen for a mainstream studio film. I've seen some horrible films. I have seen Morbius. I have seen The Expendables 4. I saw that last year, and that I didn't review it, but it was the only film last year I gave a 0 out of 10 to, a movie that I call genuinely everything about it. There's not a redeeming quality to it. It's a film where you ponder how it got greenlit, let alone how it got the money and the budget that it had, the cast that it had, and yet still got put into a theater after anyone would have watched the film and thought, holy shit, this looks fucking terrible. And it still made it to theaters. And Madam Web is one of those films where you're like, okay, so Warner Brothers got rid of Batgirl because it's supposedly unreleasable, and you have to ponder, like, there's no fucking way Batgirl was worse than this, right? Like, if it was unreleasable, then what the fuck do you call this movie? It is such total lazy dog shit that I cannot wait right now to drive home, because I got my thing says I got fucking 18 minutes till I'm gonna get home. Let's go for it, baby. Let's just talk about how fucking bad this movie is. Okay. Well, I guess the basic plot is this woman, is it Cassie? Cassandra, I think is what her full name is. Cassie Webb. She's basically a paramedic. She works with this guy, Adam Scott, named Ben, which is then quickly revealed to be Ben Parker. And so you're like, all right, got it, Uncle Ben. Fucking what a quick reveal. And then we meet Mary Parker, Spider-Man's mom, played by Emma Roberts later on. Very small role, pointless to the fucking movie. They literally just had that shit in there so people can go like, oh my god, is that Mary Ann Ben Parker? Is that looks supposed to be like Spider-Man? Is Tom Holland in this? Maybe, is that what he is? It's just like, fuck off. We didn't need this shit at all. It counted to nothing. But maybe it had a bigger role originally, but it's cut down to shit here, so that doesn't matter. But what I can tell you and confirm is that Cassie is a paramedic, and she's starting to have these visions of the future right before stuff happens, where she sees people fucking dying, and she's like a paramedic who wants to save people, and she's like sad that this shit is happening. They don't really explain it well. I assume she's sad, but Dakota Johnson's acting and the writing and stuff that they give her does not exemplify that. I was just like, does she actually give a fuck? She seems like she doesn't give a shit about anyone or anything right now, even though she's like worried supposedly about all this shit that's happening to her. I don't know. So she's having these visions of this guy. Eventually, she starts to have visions of just people dying and she can't save them, and she starts to have thoughts of like, oh my god, wait, I can see the future. Like, this bird flew into her window right after her popcorn machine or her microwave went off that had popcorn in it and shit. She's like, well, the bird doesn't have to fly in the window. There's no way things will change. She opens the window, the bird flies in the house instead of hitting the window and dying, and she's like, so I can like save people if I can see the fucking future, right? And then we get to the actual plot premise, which is with the 3 girls you see in the trailer. The only actress I know the one who plays Dora, and I know for sure that's Sydney Sweeney. I'm not sure of the actors. I'm forgetting their names right now. I've seen all 3 of them and stuff, so I can at least confirm that. And she has these visions of these 3 girls as she's getting on a train that they're all getting on at the same time, and it's this guy who's hunting them down to kill them. And we find out the villain was in the Amazons, like in the Peru jungle with Madam Web, Dakota Johnson's mother, when she was researching spiders and died. And it's because the spider was supposed... oh my god. So the spiders give people spider powers, as like Spider-Man would. They call them the Spider People Tribe, is literally the name that they basically get, is the Spider People. They're a tribe of people who live in Peru. These spiders give them powers more beyond their beliefs than they can imagine. These spiders can do fucking like anything, basically. Because at first you're like, oh, they can help you climb walls and swing and you get strong shit like a spider would. The sixth sense of being able to like see the future slightly ahead of time before a dangerous thing happens. They say that, but then also in the fucking movie we see visions of the characters later, and fucking like Sydney Sweeney has like blast where she gets shoot like fucking laser Kamehameha shit out of her hands, and then this other girl has like green discus she throws. It's like, spiders can't fucking do that shit. What are you talking about? Shut up. Anyway, the villain sees visions of these 3 girls in a costume, like in their costumes you see in the trailer a little bit. And he's like, I get killed by them, so I need to hunt them down and kill them. I will pay you a big fortune if you can find those girls so I can kill them. That's basically how good his dialogue is the entire film. So he wants these 3 girls dead the entire time, and Cassie's like, oh, I have to protect them, I guess, and I'm kind of annoyed by them. But by the ending of the movie, Cassie's like, they're my family, they have nowhere to go, their parents don't love them or respect them, whoopee. And one of them, their parents did respect them and love them, but they're Mexican, their dad got deported, whoopee. Let's write these excuses so all 3 characters could be alone in fucking life, and they have to like stick with Dakota Johnson, even though she doesn't like them or want them, clearly. But by the ending, she's okay with them, yay. So the reason the mom is in the jungle about the spiders is she is pregnant with the baby, and she finds out that her baby is going to have a neuromuscular disorder. Which, probably the best line of the movie is when Dakota Johnson goes back in time through astral projection, like you've seen in Doctor Strange and shit, like astral projecting yourself to a different place. She goes back in time through that and sees her mom talking to the doctor and like, your baby's going to have a neuromuscular disorder. And then you just hear Dakota Johnson's like dubbed in background line like, I don't have a neuromuscular disorder. What is going on? I just started dying laughing. I was like, who the fuck wrote that? And she has this emotional scene where she like hugs her mom after she's like, you let the spider bite you because you wanted to protect me. You did it. You did it for me. Oh, mommy. I was like, this is so bad. I was dying. I actually fell off my recliner chair that I was in the Cinemark theater, dying fucking laughing. It was so funny. The movie is worth it because you're going to be bored and like stupefied by the stupid shit happening in the first hour and 30 minutes. So when you get to that scene, you're going to be like, this payoff is supposed to be the dramatic payoff, and you're going to laugh your fucking ass off, or you're just going to walk out as soon as it happens because it's so incredibly dog shit. It is insane. The final action scene is like on the side of this Pepsi Cola building, which, by the way, Pepsi clearly sponsored this movie. There are Pepsi cans, Pepsi Coke, you know, like the Mexican Coke shaped bottles that there are. There are Pepsi bottles. There is Pepsi posters everywhere. There's fucking everywhere. And so, of course, the final battle happens on this boardwalk on this building that has Pepsi Cola written on it, that has a bunch of fireworks inside. And guess what? Earlier they talk about fireworks causing a giant explosion and havoc that almost kills everyone early in the film. Well, guess what? They start this firework show. A bunch of fireworks start fucking going off and blowing up to distract the villain from not attacking them. The villain gets to all 3 of them anyway. The fireworks, if anything, literally just cause the villain to get ahead of them. And also, they call a helicopter to come help them. Dakota Johnson does, because she knows like where the final battle is going to be. She's like, meet us here at this time so we can like be safe. There's a thing going on here. So the fucking villain gets up. There's a firework shot out at his face directly after Sydney Sweeney ducks, and the fucking villain punches the firework. And the firework just goes ba-doom, and just hits the helicopter and kills everyone in the helicopter. And I was like, just fucking stop it, dude. And then all the helicopter pieces start flying at them, and so she uses like this fucking thing on the wall, this metal board on the wall, and she uses it as a shield. But here's the thing, the fireworks just before that broke through a fucking brick wall, like a thick layer, like double the layers of like a brick wall house. And the firework, just a single one, flew into the brick wall. It went through the brick wall and exploded a giant hole in the brick wall. But like 10 fireworks hit this fucking metal shield she's holding, very thin layered metal, and it doesn't do shit. They just bounce off. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? What am I supposed to believe here? This is ridiculous. The final battle actually matters to nothing, because this guy's vision is of the 3 girls the whole time are set to like kill him. They're set to kill the villain. That's why he wants to kill these teenage girls, because he sees they get powers and eventually one day kill him. But you find out here in this scene, she's like, you weren't running, your visions were wrong. You weren't running from the 3 girls. You were running from me. And it's like, so shit, there's this, she has a vision early on in the movie about this glowing red S, which happens to be an S that's on the Pepsi Cola sign that's like on this boardwalk thing. The S is like, because all the fireworks are hitting shit on the side of the wall that they're on. So the S falls, breaks this bridge. It's an S that breaks this entire like bridge level thing that they're on down. So one, shitty manufacturing. The guy collapses and falls. The S breaks their fall. And then the P from the Pepsi sign falls on him, crushes him, and it supposedly kills him. And that's all it fucking took to kill this beast of a man who survives worse things earlier in the movie. There is a point when he's about to like, he's high up in the fucking air, about to jump on the car that all the teenage girls are in, as well as Ben and Mary Parker. And she drives through like the top of like, what do you call it? Like, parking garage, like a high up level of a parking garage. And she hits him full fucking speed mid-air on the parking garage, which would be like 5 times more painful than like a metal P. Like that's, even if it's like 300 pounds, what happened to him should have killed him. Apparently the metal P falling on him could kill the guy. But it's just like, what were his fucking pointless visions if they were all just leading to Madam Web? And we don't even see, if you were hoping to see Sydney Sweeney and all them, even though the outfits look like absolute dog shit, they look like Party City costumes, as I saw a critic say. They really do look that low quality and awfully designed, as well as the villain's outfit. They just immediately they literally show them in visions, and then you're like thinking about it, and then you realize by the time you're at the final battle, you're like, they're never going to be in those outfits. That's like for another film. So if you were hoping to see a cool action scene with all the characters in their outfits, you don't get that. But if you were also going to hope for like a decent origin setup movie, you're not getting that, because they rush past every origin. I don't know anything about the 3 girls other than one of their parents is like really rich and disowned them. The other one, after their mom went loony, their dad just didn't care to be with them, and he was with his other part of the family. And then the fucking third one, and so she ran away. And then the third one, her dad got deported and her mom's like out of the picture. So it's like all these excuses. That's all I know about them. And also that they're all fucking annoying. Sydney Sweeney's like, I'm sorry, I'm the shy one who follows these other 2 girls. And then the Hispanic one's like, I'm the smart one, I know maths. And then the fucking one whose parents are rich, the young black girl in the film. She's one of the 2 actresses whose name I don't know. She's like, I'm the bitch. I skateboard and I steal stuff, and we don't need to follow Cassie's orders. We can go to this fucking diner, even though she told us to stay here, because the teenagers have to do stupid shit. Because if they don't go out of their way, then guess what? The villain's never gonna find them. How are we gonna push the plot forward? I don't know. I guess they just have to fuck off, and then we'll be fine. We'll figure out what we're doing later. And it's just like, oh my god, all these like under explanations that don't mean anything in the end. They constantly explain these plot elements to you that mean nothing. And you know what's crazy? They don't explain anything. I don't know how the spider powers work. We don't understand how she has like the ability to see the future. We don't know how these other girls are going to get their powers in the future, and how the spider can amount to super strength. I get climbing on walls and shit and all the stuff that Spider-Man, casually has, but like they go above and beyond that without explaining any of it. And the villain is fucking terrible. Every line by this villain is so bad. There's a line when he wakes up from his vision, and all his lines are delivered like, oh my god, oh no, oh no, oh my god, oh no. There's literally one line when he wakes up from his vision that he has of like the girls first killing him, so we see like where his plot and where his story's coming from, where he goes like, oh my god, how do I explain this? Okay, he has the dream, and the first thing you hear is, they took my spider. Who took my spider? Where's my spider? It's just like, stop! Because he has the spider that gives him his powers, and he like uses it for control. But it's just like, you don't get any sense of explanation about this fucking spider. It just shit happens. Like, we don't know. And the visions, again, those visions don't mean anything because that's not how he dies. And then, okay, at the very end, because, you know, if you know Madam Web in the comics, she's actually an old lady who can, like, see the future and helps out spider people and different shit. She's, like, she has, like, telepathy and stuff. If you know her actual character, she's blind. She's old. So how are they going to blind her? How are we going to give her her suit and her powers and, like, make her in a wheelchair and shit like that? Well, guess what? She gets punched in the stomach when she's at... There's a scene where all three girls are in trouble in different areas, and the guy literally looks at her. The villain's like, you can't save all of them. And then she just goes, wait. And then she astral projects herself to all three of the girls and helps them. And the villain just stands there watching it, and then he goes, huh, wait a minute, I'm strong as fuck. Punches the bitch in the stomach, and then she's like paralyzed from the waist down because she gets punched in the stomach. And then she is on the side of the bridge just crawling, and then that's when she falls in the water. When he gets crushed by the pea, she falls in the water, and fireworks are still being shot. She's just like this, drowning in the water, and she can't move because, again, she's paralyzed. And a firework just hits her in the fucking eyeball, and suddenly on the right side of her face. And you know what? Apparently just getting blasted by a firework underwater automatically makes you fucking blind the second it happens. Like, no, that's not how... If anything, if the firework did hit her, she would be bleeding and shit. Instead, it's just like she has like puffy smoke around her eyes, and then she's just instantly fucking blind. And it's like, dude, this is so stupid. Oh my god. And every fucking choice that the characters make is so dumb. And Dakota Johnson's not funny either. Like, they try to give her a lot of these one-liners where she's like sarcastic, like the scene in the trailer where she's like, honestly, this is like the least weird thing that's happened all day. And she has so many of those lines where it's just like, you can tell she's given dialogue. There's one scene where they like the girl like flips off the paramedic, like the ambulance, and she goes like, what kind of girl flips off an ambulance? And instead of driving when her patient is dying in the back seat, she sits there and goes, what kind of person flips off an ambulance? And then she starts driving. I was just like, fuck off, dude. Like, it's so corny and like at the wrong moment. And I don't know if it was an ad-lib line or what, like if that was actually in the script as like a joke, but it's one of the it's so weird. They do it so many times too. I can't think of the jokes because I've already forgotten so much of the movie, and I only saw it a fucking hour and a half ago when it ended, and I've already forgotten most of it. So it's like, it's just such dog shit. It's so bad. As soon as you go see it, you're going to be like, this is such a boring film, and then you're going to forget about it instantly. But the stuff that's going to linger with you is like the stupid Mary Parker and Ben Parker thing. Why is that even in the film if it has no repercussions other than to make some audience members go, I get that. I know Marvel. Fuck me. I'm going to kill myself. It's actually terrible. It's so bad. And the action is... The editing, too. My friend said the opening scene looked like a scene out of The Office, like the TV show that's like a mockumentary. Because in the opening scene, when they're cutting between the characters, they keep doing these zooms where it's like, turn camera, boom, immediately zoom into their face, turn back, zoom in their face, oh, shaky cam. And it's like, it looks actually like Office editing. And it's like, I wondered if that scene was shot on a green screen and they did it in a course of a day. Like, they were like, holy shit, we have to get this done. We need an opening scene that changes where this film is going because we didn't know how to set it up. It almost feels like it was a last minute addition, how fucking terrible it is. And dude, when the spider people, like the tribe, when they first show up, they have a scene of the guy like hopping from branch to branch. Easily the worst CGI I've seen in a big budget movie. This is an $80 million fucking movie. I want to remind you that The Creator came out last year. Not even a great film. It's a pretty good story. I was entertained by it. I gave it like a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed the film for what it was, and I thought the ending was emotional, but the real thing that was captivating was the action and the visuals looked stunning. It was $70 million. There is proof you can make a film look good with a low budget. This is the complete opposite of it. This looks like it was made for $5 million or lower. It looks... I think I could do better effects with like a free visual software at times. It looks horrible. It looks fucking terrible. Like, I know how people were talking about some of the effects in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and the Marvels, but it's like, there's something practical there, but there are just movements and shit that happens here that, because one, the way it's edited and shot is a headache. There's so many flashes to make shit look cool. Like, she has the scene where she goes back to the diner and the guy's telling her, like, here's my plan. This is why I need the 3 girls dead. And it's like all through like a ghost vision, like the guy's teleporting around her and the scene has like flashy imagery, but you don't know what the fuck is happening. And instead, like, it's actually like a headache. It's like hard to focus on the shot. Half the time the camera wasn't even focused in that scene, and I'm almost wondering if they realized the camera's not in focus. We need to do CGI and make this like a fucking imagination scene, like something else, because like we actually can't tell what the scene looks like. She's out of focus half the time. And at the ending, when they show the girls in their suits and Madam Web, like Dakota Johnson in her suit, they blur Dakota Johnson in the background, because I almost wonder if it looks so shitty that they were like, okay, instead of blurring her, we have the astral projection thing. And when she's astral projected, she looks kind of blurry because she's like a ghost. She's hollow. So they astral project her into the background over the three girls. And it's like, it looks like total shit. And I remember the last time was like, she goes, you guys will be ready for the future. And the best part about the future is it hasn't happened yet. And then it's like, like set up for the next movie. Can't wait to see all these characters come back. It's never going to fucking happen. It's not going to happen. This is never coming back. In my opinion, I've seen Catwoman, and Catwoman has a ton of awful things. I've seen the Ben Affleck Daredevil. I've seen the Elektra film, and like, they're awful, but they're all better than this. I actually can think of like things in each of those movies. The only one that I think potentially is like Catwoman, they don't feel like they're trying, but even Halle Berry feels like she's kind of trying in the film, even though she's terrible. But like, there's stuff that's actually like, I can tell people were trying to make an okay film in each of those films. They just happen to be complete dog shit. Like, even in Batman and Robin, it's like, it's a kooky, weird film. Like, if it had better acting and better writing and like was just not so fucking weird and stupid, it would be like a watchable film. It is watchable. It's funny to watch. Same for Madam Web. If you went to go watch this with like 4 or 5 friends and you guys were drunk out of your mind, as long as the theater didn't care, you could laugh your ass off. I was laughing my fucking ass off at this movie. There were only 3 other people in the theater, and I don't think they gave a shit, because I heard 2 actual laughs from the audience that were like genuine laughs. But I think everyone hated the movie. I don't think anyone in that audience sounded like they were silent. Remember when you went to go to like any Marvel film? Even with Venom, I remember going to both the Venom films packed with laughter. There was scenes that people applauded, and I admit, like, I don't like the Venom films. I gave the first one like a 4 out of 10. I gave the second one like a 5 out of 10. They're pretty bad films, like, and they're messy, but I had more fun at those. Other than like, the only reason I had fun at this is because it's so fucking dog shit. I was laughing at it. Morbius is a better film. Like, on a story structure, Morbius, it is cohesive in parts. There are some interesting ideas. Matt Smith is really good in it, and he's having fun. No one was having fun here. Adam Scott is even terrible. I was like, holy shit, you don't care about this movie either. Dakota Johnson's terrible. Sydney Sweeney, maybe the worst acting I've seen in a while in a film. What is going on? No, Cassie, stay with us. You need to help us. Please, Cassie, please. Oh, it's like that the whole movie. Oh, I'm gonna fucking throw up. I have such a headache. All right. I don't know what else to say. It's one of the worst films I've seen. I think it's like Artemis Fowl level bad. At least it's funny, though, and at least I watched it with friends. We were laughing during it. I have a funny photo to post on Instagram, so maybe you'll see that. Yeah, complete dog shit, 0 out of 10. Sony is scamming people who are fucking stupid. I saw a review on Letterboxd that said, this is a movie made for gay R-words. And my friend who sat next to me, who is bisexual, literally said, like, they're not lying, it's for gay retards. I hope people don't get offended that I said that word, but dude, it's so bad. It's actually made for, like, maybe 4-year-olds would enjoy it, like, maybe, but it's also so boring and has over-explained shit. There's so much dialogue and trying to explain stuff, and yet they still explain nothing. So you gain no knowledge of what's going on, but also you're there, like, expected to understand what's happening. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. I have to be up at like fucking 8 hours. So by the time I go to bed, it'll probably be like 6 hours. So anyway, good night, Madam Web. Fuck it, whatever. I'm gonna review Bob Marley next. Hopefully it's at least a fucking better movie. There's no way it can be this bad. There's no fucking way. It's gotta be better no matter what. All right, I'll see you for Bob Marley.